mining and extraction of metals, fossil fuels, and other valuable goods has been ubiquitous throughout modern human history. During the 19th and 20th centuries, mining operations exploded, and mines were found across the U.S. Coal, iron, copper, and other metals were targeted and extracted, but during that extraction process, a lot of the metal is lost. Wind and rain move the metal dust left behind and bury it in the soil or wash it into the nearest waterway. Oftentimes, not much is known about the effects that these metals can have on the ecosystems they pollute. Vanadium, a metal used to manufacture high-strength steel, was mined in the western United States mostly in the 20th century. It has recently been the subject of criticism and research because very little is known about vanadium. The lab in which I work, the Burton Research Lab, studies how chemicals and metals result in negative effects in aquatic environments, a discipline called toxicology. Currently underway is a study of the toxicology of metals, including vanadium, in a lake in Arkansas. Among the questions the lab seeks to answer is the question of the potential negative effects of vanadium, called toxicity, and how susceptible organisms are to storing vanadium in their cells, a measure called bioavailability. My thesis takes the study and goes a step further. Vanadium can take different forms in the real world, depending on the conditions in which you find it. In environments that contain oxygen, vanadium will bond with the oxygen, creating one of several compounds. In environments without oxygen, vanadium will generally remain separate in one of several forms. We believe that the different forms of vanadium might lead to different levels of toxicity or bioavailability in organisms. My question involves mapping the connections between environmental conditions, forms of vanadium, and the resulting toxicity and bioavailability to organisms. Through a series of tests, both in the field and in the lab, I hope to draw some correlations between these three factors. At the end of the study, if correlations are found, not only will we be able to predict the effects that vanadium can have on an ecosystem, but we'll be better equipped with the tools to manage the ecosystem for its own benefit. It's this kind of research and the knowledge that comes from it that enables us to correct the inadvertent damaging effects we sometimes cause and to protect the environment from further degradation.